Coding is the future of language. My name is Ashad Rashid. I've been teaching coding for a little more than a year. If you're looking to learn about coding and apply to the real world, this is the right channel for you.
My name is Mohammed Rashid Kamal.
And my name is Ashad Rashid.
Great. Thank you, Shadia, for being here on today's episode. This is a subsequent episode on learning coding with the Shadia. So that's on today's we're going to do really challenging exercise. It's called Random Blobber. So Shadia is here with us on the studio, Global Mindset University studio, located in Washington, D.C. So on today's episode, she's going to work on a very challenging exercise live. Here is Shadia. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. And did you know that this is a special video because it is the first challenge of Advanced JS Natural Simulations.
Right, so
and learn about randomness.
What do JS
right
stand
here,
for,
it says
Shadia?
randomly.
What do JS stand for?
Oh, it stands for JavaScript.
Right.
Java and JavaScript are different.
Absolutely.
We have different programming languages.
Exactly. So, what do you know? JavaScript is basically for creating some interactive website, right, Shadia? Am I right? Okay, what about HTML and CSS?
Oh, HTML is for text. The same thing in JavaScript, you can make text. But that's why I like JavaScript, because you can create everything. Yes, and also on CSS, you do the background, the color of things, like style stuff.
It's like
styling.
central style sheet. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Great. With that, I will give the floor to Shadia Rashid, and Shadia Rashid will continue from here. Here is the floor, Shadia.
Okay, so here we are on Challenge Random Blobber. Make it a blob. Right now, it's just a little point. Our walker, which is W, is being displayed by its display method, just as a little point. Use the eclipse function to display our walker as a blob instead of a point. So, how do we do that? Okay, let's do Control F and look for a point. It shows us point is just right there. So what we do is change the point into an ellipse. And then, after you see that, you might see this error. Oh noes. It looks like you're trying to use ellipse. That's exactly what I'm doing. In case you forgot, you can use it like this. X, Y, width, height, and processing JS. So, what I only have is the width and height. So, in order to change that, we can do this. 20, 20. And there. It looks weird, by the way, like wiggling. Color it. Instead, to do that, let's put in a fill one. We forgot to read the instruction. So let's do that. Color the blob. Make it a colorful blob by filling it in and removing the outlines. If you don't know the command to remove outlines, try to look for that in the documentation. So, that's the same thing to me. But first, let's do the color. Like it's be magenta. That's not the color magenta. Okay, great. You are filling your blob. Now, remove its outlines. If you can't remember how to do that, you can try looking at the documentation for a command that will turn off outlines for shapes. So let's do that. Here's the documentation. You click the documentation, and it shows you here. Turn off outlines for shapes. Turn off outline for shapes. It is no stroke. Yeah, I did forget that. Yes. In order to do that, you put in no stroke. That's it. But don't forget the semicolon. To make sure that the walker never have an outline, your no-show command should be contained in the walker's display method. So, now, literally, it is affecting the whole thing. And we don't want that to happen. But, if it's in a function, it won't affect the whole thing. It will only affect the function. So, let's do that. Okay. That's perfect. The next thing, speed it up. Cause now, it's a bit slow. And if you want it to be coloring the whole part, it would take forever. So, speed up the blob. The blob moves around by using its walk method, which is right here. There. But, as it is, the blob moves by 1 pixel each step it takes. In a random direction, right, left, up, down, or up. Modify the walk method to take steps longer than 1 pixel, which will move the blob faster. In order to do this part, you could look at the documentation, but it doesn't give us anything that we need. So, instead, let's do the code by ourselves. Walker prototype walk. That's the function if you want to walk it. Okay. This x plus equals 3. Minus equals 3. So that it would take pixels each 3 times. So plus equals 3. Minus equals 3. And you finish the challenge. So, wasn't that pretty easy? Yeah, pretty easy. So, before we end this video, let's take a little bit of time for this random blobber. This is going to be the first challenge of Advanced JS, Natural Simulations, and this is about randomness. In the next step, in the previous step, in the next episode, we will be talking about randomness again, but instead we'll do it in up walker. This will be similar to Random Blobber, but the name is different, up walker. So, yes. And on the next part, we will be learning about noise. I think it is noise. Yeah, noise. Yeah, noise. It's noise. And on the next one, we will be doing something similar. And this, we are going to read it also. So, and on the noise part, we're going to read the instructions, be doing everything that we can do. So, that's all we have for today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe.
Hey, Shadia.
To get more videos.
I love it. This is really, really great, Shadia. I really appreciate you for coming here and do this challenge, which is the Random Blobber. Shadia, I've got a couple of questions for you here. Let's start from the line. So here from the code, the first line of the code, it's a var.
Walker.
Okay, walker equals function. What does var stand for and what does function stand for in JavaScript?
Oh, sure. So you know that a var means variable. So they assigned a variable called
So you
walker.
assign walker, which is a variable to...
Not just only a variable, it's also a function.
Oh, it has also a function.
And also, inside the function it has this x with /2, this y with /2. Same. The next thing, it has a walker prototype display. It means how it will look like when it is a blob. Right now, I decided to make the color magenta or pink. And I decided to make it without no outlines. So no stroke, fill, and ellipse. Randomly move right, left, down, or up. So it is a choice. See, this var choice equals floor random 4. If you change it, it gets even faster. change it again. Or 1. I think let's keep it to 4. But if we do it 2, see what is it doing? It's just going to the other side, not doing anything that we want. So we'll change it back to 4. It's moving anywhere it likes because it chooses random, not just only, I want you to move up, down, left, or right, so that people will say, seems random. And then when they see the program again, they say, this thing moves at the same time. So, what you could do is to make it random.
Okay. That's great, Ashari. Thank you so much. So under line 14, I see you have used the variable which is walker and prototype.walk. So hold on, Ashari. My question will be here. What does prototype mean? What is prototype in JavaScript? So if you can explain that for us will be really great, because prototype is, I know, by far very important concept in JavaScript, and especially in JavaScript interview.
So, what does prototype mean? It means the prototype is an object that is associated with every functions and objects by its default.
Okay.
In JavaScript.
So the prototype here, so it is associated with a given function. That's what.
And it is also an object.
With an object. Okay.
Yes, and let me continue. Whereas function's prototype property is accessible and modifiable with the object prototype property, which also means attribute, is not visible, which means you can't see it. And here's the important part.
Okay.
Every function includes a prototype by its default.
So it
Every
includes
function
a prototype by
includes a
default.
prototype object by default.
Okay.
So if you want to create a prototype, you need a function.
Right.
Without it, you can't create one. And how should I use prototype in JavaScript? There's a clear reason why you should use properties. When creating classes in JavaScript, they use less memory when a method is defined. Using this.
Okay. I love that, Ashari.
See this on
Yes. So you are like using less memory because you don't need to repeat all your function and your function and method there. So you just need to a prototype. So in order to use less memory in your programming, memory is, by the way, is a really great point, especially if you have a lot of memory application.
It's like in the game
really
Memory
slow.
++.
Yes.
Where you need to find matching cards. Yes, they use less memory when a method is defined using this. Method name in new copy is created every time a new object is
instantiated. Yeah, so whenever you instantiated a new method, so it will be instantiated that way. So that's really great thing, Asharia. I really appreciate you. So well, here is a question, another question for you on line 16 actually. You've got to start with if statement. If blah blah a triple equals 0, then it goes like that. Can you explain that?
If the choice is 0, that means if it does not know which way it should go, up, down, left, right, it would say move right. Or it'll do it random, so that the computer will choose it itself, not us. It'll do it itself. That's why it is always important to use random. Like, if you never have noticed random before, and you really want it to seem like random, you decided to pretend it was random, like making it right, down, 1, like 0, and then you did that. Then after that, when a person saw that program many times, they say, why does it move why does it move the same time when I go to a different computer? And when they look in the code, they say, this isn't random things. The person just made it.
Okay, Shaya. Great. Thank you for that answer. My next question will be on operators. I see some operator you have used here. The first one is like the single operator equal sign, and the second one is a triple equal sign. And I see, so what is that? The first, like single equal sign double equal sign and also triple equal sign in JavaScript. You know, basically these operators, if you can explain for us, please, Shadi.
Yes. So, do you see that triple one? Yes. It is an equal value and equal type.
So the value and the type must be equal.
Yes, they're the same. They're the same. They're not different.
Okay. Both the value and the type should be equal. So the same thing here. What do you have when you say choice equal 0? That means the choice needs to be 0 in everything, both the type and the value. Okay. What about the two equals? Like in case if you have two equal, what does that mean?
It just means equal to. And
okay.
here is one operator that you guys haven't seen in this code, but I have it.
Gotcha.
It is an exclamation mark with an equals. I'll draw it in a comment.
Gotcha.
Exclamation mark with
Thanks,
an equals.
Ashadi.
You might think that means it equals, but you're wrong. It's the opposite of it,
Gotcha.
which means it doesn't equal. What about this? I defined a variable called x. Var x equals 8. And then, after that, I did this. X what about that?
Gotcha.
So what do you think this means? I defined a variable called x. Then after that, I made the variable x does not equal to 1. Because pretend that x means 8. And this line of code also means this line of code. Do you see that? Because you assigned x to pretend it is 8. So, it sits in there with 1, and that exclamation mark and an equal means it does not match.
Okay.
It doesn't match.
Great. Okay, I got another question related to operator, Shadi, here, JavaScript operator, which is, I know if we create, I'm gonna create another comment here, and I wanna use and, right? So,
And.
yeah, what is the difference between the two and? Generally, we know and is and, but what is and in JavaScript?
Okay, you might think that and usually means it's not the same, or it's not together. Well, this is actually a regular one.
And
This kind of operator is actually this kind of operator.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And.
So and means and.
In JavaScript.
In
Yeah,
JavaScript.
two ands, that means and. Okay.
Have you ever seen this kind of operator?
The pipe.
Yes.
Okay,
That
double
means
pipe.
or.
Okay. Okay, it's called pipe. So that means or. So if you want to use 5 or 6, so you can use that 2 pipe.
Exactly.
Okay,
And have you
two
ever
pipe.
seen this one? Yeah. You think this is an operation, but you think that it just means I'm happy, but it doesn't. It means not.
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 So if you put that one with double and, it means that something that's not equal.
That's not
and.
equal.
Not and. Not
Not
and.
and.
Not and. And if
Not
you put
and.
with 2 equal,
Not equal.
Okay, got you. Great, Ashadi.
Not equal.
I mean, it's really a lot of things to learn here with you. I'm really thankful of you being here with us, with the Global Mindset University, and for doing this really challenging exercise. I want to say thank you so much, Ashadi, for your time.
You're welcome. I had a very fun time doing this challenge with all of you who are watching this video.
Great. And I was thinking, congratulations for getting 2,100 points.
I know.
That's your point today, Shadi. Alright guys, thank you for being here with us. My name is Muhammad Rashid Kamal.
And my name is Ashai Rashid.
Right.
And I hope to see you on the next episode. Bye!